Hi, my name is Brandon I. Brooks. I'm the managing editor with the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper and the LA Watch Times newspaper. And it's my absolute pleasure today to be here with Mr. Nolan Rollins, the president of the Los Angeles Urban League. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, Brandon. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely excellent, and I do appreciate your time today because we know you're a very busy man in your schedule, but we are here today for a momentous occasion, as I would like to say, but an important reason of a testament to your work and the trailblazing work you are doing.
No, it's critical. I mean, again, youth involvement in our organization is just a hugely critical component. Now, I say that a bit selfishly because that's where I came from, right? I mean, that's how I was developed, that's how I was seeded, that's how I was trained to sit here and have this conversation with you. So for me, they're very important. But they're also very important to having the conversation about what civic participation looks like. They're very important in having the conversation about what it looks like to develop this next generation of leaders. This next generation of leaders, not just in civil rights space, but also in the private sector, right? I mean, we have an organization here of young professionals that they're everywhere. They're in government, they're in the private sector, they're entrepreneurs. They do a little bit of everything. At the same time, they're committed to giving back to the community. And for me, that's the real litmus test, right? We want you to be successful in what it is that you do, and we're always going to advocate for that. We're always going to advocate for knocking down glass ceilings where you find them in your corporate space. We're always going to advocate, and when I go in with a corporate CEO and have a conversation, and I know that some of his young professionals are in our organization here, I say to him, you know, I got a number of your staff who are in our Urban League Young Professionals. They light up. Now they start thinking about, now how can we do more to support them? Because these CEOs now know that this group of folks has someone who or an institution that they're working with and that they're actually learning and developing in. It becomes a great place for us to develop the now leadership, right? I'm not talking about future leadership. I'm talking about the now leadership. Because if we're really candid, you know, by the time I took over as a CEO in New Orleans, I was 34. Let's be clear. Martin Luther King was 26 when he led SALC. He was 26 when he was doing all the things that he was doing. He dead early. I mean, you know, we are way behind. So for any of us to not think that the real potential is in our young 20s and our young 30s, we're missing the boat. We are missing what actually made us great as a community. Youth made us great as a community. I mean, it's interesting. I was listening to a brother the other day. He said, "You know, it was a quote from Pac, quite frankly, that Kendrick Lamar had on it. Said, you don't see revolutionaries after a certain age because they got mortgages, they got bills, right? Revolution is a young man and woman's game, always has been. So if things are going to really change, that's what's happening with Black Lives Matter. These are young folks saying, you know what, we aren't comfortable with what's happening right now. We need to make sure that we're pushing the envelope on what humanity looks like. We need to make sure that the 4 pages of the Declaration of Independence, that the 4 pages of the Constitution are legitimately for everyone, not just for a subsection of the community, not just for a subsection of Americans, but for everyone. And I think that that's what's so important about having young professionals be a part of the Urban League, because this is the breath that we continue to breathe into an institution that's over 105 years old nationally.